Hello everybody, this is Coach Razo here. In this video, what we're going to work on is views of 3D figures. So in this case, we're trying to go ahead and find out what the faces are on each figure that you're given. And a little bit similar to like a house where they where they give you a blueprint and you have to determine which is the front, which is the back, which is the top view, and so forth. So if you kind of think of it as a blueprint, then it may help out. So after going through this, we have to go ahead and determine, imagine we built this figure one, and we have to go ahead and figure out what's going to be the front of this house. So imagine you're standing right in front of this, just like you're in front of your worksheet, or maybe if you're watching the video. So the front of this is going to be determined by your positioning onto this figure. So if we're writing like this is considered our front, right here. That's our front, and that's our front. So we already have our front already figured out. We just have to look for the other views that we need to go and look for. So when you're looking for these, you go in here, you're like, oh man, I got these two. So which one is it? You could just pick, as long as they have 3 boxes in there, you should be fine. Now, if we're looking for, let's say, we're looking for the right view. And in this case, if you're looking for the right view, you're going to be standing over here. Okay? And you're looking at it from this perspective. So if we're here, this here is my right, and that's my right. So the only one that would match up with is that one. Okay? So you can pick either one. It should be the same because they both have 2 boxes. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and go into that one as much, but like just understand that you have to look for the front, the right, back view, and everything gets built from here. So we're going to practice these on a little bit. So let's see what we know. Now, I'm not going to focus on figure 2 as much, but I'm going to be more focused on figure 3, and we're going to draw these. So if I were to go ahead and draw this, and I need to figure out what is my front. I'm consider this as my front because that's where I'm standing from this view. My front is going to be determined by 1, 2, 3, 4. Now don't forget, there's a hidden one right here. So as we draw this, we have something like this, and then there's an extra box on the side, like that. That's my front view. Okay. Now the other part, it's for the front. I'm going to look for the right view. So if we're looking for the right view, I'll put it in red. I'll be here, here, and here. So now I'm looking at it from this perspective. So if I were to go ahead and draw this, I'm looking at this box, and that box. So now I kind of have like an L going on here. Okay, so that's my right that I have going on. Now, if I'm looking at it from the top view, let's say you have a bird's eye vision over here. Boom, right here, laying down. You can see that one, that one, that one, and they kind of line up together. And then you have this one right here on the side of it. Okay, so from top view, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then there's going to be one extra one right here. Okay, so that's my so that's figure 3 that we have going on there. Now, if you kind of notice in this figure right here, don't worry about the back right now, guys. We're just gonna go ahead and focus on those views for now. Now from here, what we're gonna go ahead and do is that this was a little bit like, oh, it could be either way, depends on how you look at it as a person. So if I'm standing over here and I think that's the front, then boom, 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 there's my front. If you're standing over here and you think that's your front, boom, 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 you're both not wrong. Because that being said, it depends on how you view it. Now, if the way that I'm going to view it is that, let's say we're trying to figure out what the front side is, and we end up picking either one, we go ahead, it'll be fine. But let's say we're going here, and we'll say that's going to go ahead and be considered my front. And then I have that one too. So that's my front view looking at it from this perspective. Okay. So if I'm trying to figure that out, it's like, well, I can go ahead and call this 1, 2, here, and then here. That's considered my front. Now, if you have the other view, okay, I got that view, that view, that view, and that view, then you have this one right here, 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 and then you have this right there. And so if you were to go through this, either one of these can be considered the front view because they're both literally will give you the same, either give you the same results if you end up getting the other faces correct. So either one of these is fine on here, okay? As long as you could go ahead and justify your answer for your right and top and so forth. So just giving you like a little bit more of a difficult one to work with, okay? Let's see. It's kind of similar to this one down here. All right, so let's go back to the next one. All right, so over here, this video, I mean, not this video, but on this one, 12, this is 13, should be 12. On 12-2, or whichever section or unit this will be, 3D figures is how you're gonna go ahead and name these. So it's really good about, it has to be about naming about what you have. So when you have one of these figures down here, a cone is simply looks like an ice cream cone, a sphere looks just like a ball, it suddenly looks like a regular can or a soda can. And a prism and pyramid always has 2 bases for the prisms, and the pyramid only has 1 base that's involved in it. Now, when you were going through these, you have to understand that your name is initially one of these 5 right here. But all these are going to be named based on the actual base that it has. So if it's like a triangular base, rectangular base, square base, hexagonal, pentagonal, however many sides it has. So it could be an octagon or go ahead and be a nonagon. So based on whatever you see on there. So if I go back over here and I'm trying to figure out, oh, what's the name of the first figure? What's if I'm trying to figure this out? And I notice that there's a square in here. Okay. There's a square, a square, a square, and there's 2 bases. I see 1 base, I see 2 bases. So that means it could probably be a prism because a prism has 2 bases in it. So I'll look down here. I'll look for the figure that matches up with. And if you happen to find it, you're great. In this case, it happens to be figure C. So it's figure C, and the name of it is a prism. Because this picture here, it kind of matches the one that we have down here. So see how these lines connect to each other? So it's kind of something like that. So as we're going through this, we want to go ahead and name it a triangular prism. Okay? So you can use one of these names that we have right here. So you can go ahead and just check those out. Make sure you have them written down somewhere so you can use. Now, you go ahead and do that and piece them together, just like little foldables. Next part is notation. So you have to be really good about notation in this video. So if you're not very good about it, then you gotta go ahead and get like a little reminder. So the name of it is based on what we saw over there. Vertices are just points that you see. Remember, it's point A, point B, point C. In this case, it would be point D, point E, point F. So I got D, E, and then F. Now the bases of this, you're gonna have to go ahead and name the base that you see here. So if I have this base here, and I have this base here, so you can have base G, H, K. Okay, so it'll be triangle GHK. And then over here you can have triangle DEF. Okay, so we'll give you the name of the base. Okay, don't just give it from here. Now the other parts too that come into play is that for lateral edges, it's initially line segments. So give me the line segments that connect the 2 bases. So if I'm going from this base and I'm trying to connect to this one, give me a line segment that connects it. Sorry, guys. So connected would be HE. HE can be a combination. What's another one? KF. What's another combination? GD. GD. Now here's the thing: line segments have a bar on the very top, so you need this for sure to know what you're talking about in this case. Okay. All right, hey guys. So that's it for this video. Just make sure you understand that you gotta go ahead and name every single one of these parts according to the notation that you have. Okay. All right, you're on your own.